My family called me the quiet child. I have an older brother and sister. Growing up, we competed over everything: sports, intelligence, chess, even arguing about who was better at arguing. As the youngest, I lost every time. That made me quiet. Plus, our dad was loud. When we talked, he yelled. When we didn't talk, he still yelled. I thought I would be the quiet child forever. That label felt like a box that shaped who I would be. When I turned 12 years old, though, something began to change. I started karate. My karate teacher, Andy, was built like a tank and sounded like a general. After training with Andy for just 2 years, one day he called me into his office. Andy said, "Matt, we'd like you to teach the Saturday class." I looked behind me hoping to see another Matt, but it was just me. My mom couldn't pay the karate bill. To pay my dues, I was forced to talk to humans. Bigger, smarter, adult humans. I was scared. So I showed them my kicks. Pro tip, when you're scared of speaking, just kick the air. Everyone will forget how you sound. I was uncomfortable teaching, but I leaned forward. One day I began explaining my kicks. All of a sudden, everyone started kicking better. For the first time, I felt my voice matter, but I still saw myself as the quiet child. A few years later, I took a man named Ed Campbell to a fight as his coach. Imagine you're at the fight. You see the ring in front of you. You hear the murmur of the crowd. You can feel the adrenaline. One problem: Ed was pacing. Ed's nerves were about to cost him the fight. At that moment, I channeled my inner Andy. I remembered how he started every karate class. I said, "Ed, sit down with me. Close your eyes. Just breathe." We both felt uncomfortable, but we leaned forward. We meditated for what felt like an eternity. 10 whole minutes. Then we opened our eyes, and something magical happened. Ed was calm. In the second round, Ed dropped his opponent with a right cross. The referee waved his hands. Knockout. On the drive home that night, I realized the power of my voice. I wrote the first page of a new script. But I was still quiet outside of the gym, especially at work. A few years after that fight, I got my first management job. I was a 30-year-old engineer. I was not ready to lead. My talks with my team had no substance, and our project was a mess. Then I got feedback from my team. Matt is not original and not confident. I wanted to hide in a hole and never speak. I felt like the quiet child all over again. But then a friend invited me to a special meeting. There, I met a group of great speakers. One of them had a refined British accent. Whatever he said sounded like gold. These speakers were original. I wanted to sound like them, so I began writing every day. After that, when I spoke at work, my team listened closer, because now I had more substance. I wrote another page of my new script. But our project was still a mess. So I went to talk to my manager, Scott. Everyone left Scott's office ready to take on the world, but I never knew exactly why. That day, I saw it. Scott's eyebrows had a hypnotic quality. Scott was so positive, even his eyebrows nodded up and down when he said to me, "Matt, you will figure this out. You can do this." Instead of feeling boxed in like I did with that quiet child label, Scott made me believe I had more potential. I still felt uncomfortable leading my team, but I leaned forward. I spoke with each of my team members about their own potential. In time, they took on bigger roles. We delivered a better product. That was the second to last page. Then one day after this, our project manager, Tiffany, who I'd known for years, spoke to me about personality types. She was an expert. Tiffany said to me, "Matt, you're an extrovert, aren't you?" I flipped the script. Instead of the quiet child, I was now the confident adult. Or at least slightly more talkative than most engineers. Fellow humans, what are your labels? Our labels constrain how we see ourselves and our world. We put ourselves in boxes. We put each other in boxes. Recognize the next time you label someone, including yourself. In time, we might see we are so much more capable than our labels, so much more nuanced than our boxes. Remember, what lies behind our labels may be another uncomfortable situation. Where might you have untapped potential? Lean forward and answer that question. Write the beginning of a new script. You will feel like gold. Back to you, contest chair.